Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're having a wonderful night tonight. Tonight we are going to be doing a little bit of I Told You So on the Franklin Armory Antithesis because its own existence is sort of an antithesis because it's off of their website completely. As it may be fed bait or a little bit of jumping the gun. But you know what? Before we take a look at the comments on our video, why don't we take a look at the comments on the Franklin Armory video? Oh, wait. You can't because the video's gone because they had to take it down.
Whoa.
little oopsie there, you know. So maybe they jumped the gun a little bit, so to speak, metaphorically. But the video is gone. It's been privated, so there are no comments to look at it. Because they may have done just a little bit of a whoopsie. Now, here we have the ATF trying to clarify exactly what they meant there, and this is what I was always worried about. Now, I want to be clear. While I am kind of unfortunately correct, I don't want to be gleeful or gloating about it like some other lunatics would. Because, to be fair, this would be awesome if it were, like, green, good to go, because this would basically completely remove the NFA and be a great step forward for everybody. So this would be awesome if it were actually in reality, right? But it appears that it's much more specific than that and much less exciting than at first we thought. Now, hopefully, through some legal action and some more fighting, because there's always more fighting to do, Franklin Armory and their lawyers and other gun rights groups can pass the full measure of what they're wanting and make sure that the ATF actually certifies all of the antithesis variants, not just the 45 long Colt 410. Because as of right now, that's the only legal version of the antithesis. The rest of those in people's possessions, according to the ATF, which is, again, according to the ATF, very gay, very lame, but according to them, who are going to come kill you, your family, and your dog, all the other ones are legal SBRs. Right. So don't take it up with me. I feel your cause, right? I'm very sad about that. However, I can't physically stop the ATF from doing what they're going to do to you. I also can't stop Franklin Armory from turning over your customer information either, which is why they recommend you return all of them. But coming back here to this one. So on August 29, 2025, ATF issued an open letter reclassifying Franklin Armory's Reformation, which is the straight rifled one, so not rifled, and Antithesis. The open letter implemented a settlement agreement which classifies these weapons as firearms under the Gun Control Act, but not subject to the controls of the NFA. Now, the Antithesis is designed to shoot multiple projectiles, right? Which means that it is not a rifle or a pistol, and therefore not an SBR either. They got a judge to sign off on it. They got an agreement or some sort of settlement agreement there. So it's a bit complicated and messy. However, the part that I will fault Franklin Armory for is that they left out the fact that the only one that actually got certified was the 45 Long Colt 410. So then they took that win on the 45 Long Colt 410 version and then tried to spread it around on all other variants of the Antithesis, which doesn't quite work. So again, it only, as they say, the open letter only applies to the two models listed in the letter, in the specific configuration that was the subject of the settlement. Meaning if you change that configuration, even of one of the approved models, right, which is the 45 Long Colt 410 version, if you change either one of those, if you adjust the configuration, whatever that happens to mean according to the ATF, you're also in possession of an illegal SBR, right? Again, I don't make the rules, it's all fake and gay, all that sort of stuff, but I'm just telling you what the ATF is saying. ATF has further clarified that their letter applies only to the 45 Long Colt and 410 Antithesis prototype that was provided to the ATF for evaluation. So, Franklin Armory provided the ATF with this gun, saying, this one here, look, it's designed to fire multiple projectiles because it can take 45 Long Colt and 410. Fair enough. So, however, that, according to the ATF, doesn't recertify every other possible caliber configuration, even though there might be like a multi-projectile 5.56 or something like that. So Franklin Armory has got some more work to do, and we can all hope and pray and support them in their fight against the ATF. The 5.56 version has been pulled from the Franklin website. It appears that they jumped the gun. Personally, I expect further legal action by Franklin, but time will tell. And yes, I believe that it will possibly possibly come back. We can hope that it does. We can hope that they win and do get the 5.56 version certified. But even then, it's still a little bit sketchy because the ATF is only going to certify them in those exact factory configurations, whatever their interpretation of that happens to be. So, September 19th, 2025, which is today, of course, Franklin Armory, one of America's leading manufacturers, last night, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives requested that we voluntarily bring back all 5.56 caliber antithesis firearms in advance of the agency issuing a new classification. We were surprised by this in light of the U.S. District Court's ruling in Frack v. Bondi. Out of an abundance of caution and for the well-being of our consumers, which is the correct move, dealers and distributors, we are voluntarily requesting all of our customers to return their 5.56 caliber antithesis firearms for a full refund. We encourage customers who have taken possession of an antithesis firearm to contact Franklin Armory customer service for an RMA and shipping label. This return does not affect the Reformation, which is again the straight-walled version, so it's not a rifle, and the 410-45 long Colt variant, which is the one that actually got approved by the ATF. Now, again, I don't know if there are any lawyers in chat that wants to give an alternative take on this, and we again can hope that Franklin Armory does win in the court and get all these certified, because that will be the biggest blow to the NFA since the last blow to the NFA. As facilitators of freedom, we are actively raising our concerns with the various entities within Congress, the Trump administration, and we are hopeful that continued negotiations with the ATF can arrive at a solution that avoids litigation if at all possible. Be assured this will not be the final chapter on antithesis. Now, a word on Franklin Armory. They have had a bad run of it. Every time the Reformation came out, like what, 4, 5, 6 years ago, when that originally came out?
Yeah, about 6 years ago.
Yeah, a long time ago. And they just, through litigation, court cases, fighting with the ATF for every inch, just got that certified. With the antithesis, if they can go through this entire process again, hopefully it's faster, hopefully, but it could be another 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and if the administration changes hands, we might be looking at a less favorable ATF or less favorable judges or whatever else that it might be. Yeah. Couldn't imagine. Couldn't be me being a lawyer. Absolutely not.
No way.
Yeah.
Taurus has the funniest opportunity to do the funniest thing in the world if they were to buy. Do you know where I'm going with this? If they were to buy the rights, what is this? This thing is chambered in 45 long Colt and 410, right?
410, yeah. Yes,
so
yes.
it's the Taurus Judge AR-15. So.
Oh shit! Here we go. All right, so this is our video on it. Now, you guys were not happy. I think we have something like a 80% like ratio on the video, which for YouTube is really bad, like really, really bad. Reno May posting, these guys have a lot of lawyers involved at many levels of the company, which I totally believe that they do, yes. However, they still jumped the gun because the only recreation of this video that exists online is our stream of the video. That's the only way to find this original video is through our clips and streams because they had to take it down. I just made a label that says antithesis and put it on my stock. Now we're all good. Paul Bailey calling us out. You are all missing the point from the video. This was resolved not just by court order, but also followed up with a settlement agreement. I agree with that. However, Franklin Armory left out that the settlement was specifically for the 45 long Colt 410 variant, not the 5.56 versions. So, yeah, I hope it works, but they didn't just sign off. They fought them in court for over 8 years and won. The ATF and government lost. Kind of, again. Not quite that simple. The Reformation is good to go, so that is true. Franklin did win that, but they didn't win with the 5.56 antithesis. Here we go. This is the one. I'm disappointed in you as an FFL. I'm not an FFL. You should know a little bit about law. I took a business law class for my economics degree. Does that count? It's a nationwide court case ruling, so the ATF can't just swing the other way 7 years later. They need SCOTUS to overturn the ruling. Again, this video doesn't exist on the platform anymore because Franklin had to take it down. Dangerous Gas says they did not convince an ATF field office to sign off, quote unquote. The ATF was forced to rescind their previous letter ruling about this new class within the category of GCA only firearms because of the ruling of this judge. Again, for the 45 long Colt 410, which in this video, Franklin Armory is not showing off that variant. They're showing off the variant that people actually want to buy, right? That being the 5.56 version. Reno May calling you out, which I thought was funny.
Yeah, he was not happy about that.
I got a lot of hate on my meme about it too. It's like it seemed like people were confused. Like, hey guys, if this works, we're all happy about this. Like, I don't think they realize we're all on the same side here in agreement. But like, this is an obvious problem, and I think a lot of people couldn't see through that.
I 100% agree, because people are kind of addicted to some of the hopium, let's call it, where they see a win and they don't like anyone questioning or saying anything to the contrary, right? But the honest truth is that it's just a little wacky,